I'm Judy Ackerman, and I'm the Vice President and Provost of the Rockville campus, and I'm so pleased to welcome you here this morning. Thank you for joining us to celebrate a significant milestone for this campus. It's so great to see so many of the Montgomery College family here today. We have some students, we have faculty, staff, administrators, and we have some special friends of the college here with us today for our celebration, including, of course, our president, Dr. Darian Pollard, and a former trustee, Dr. Janan Ham. We have Maryland State Senators Jenny Forehand, Nancy King, and Richard Madaleno here. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Jenny. Congratulations on your 36 years of service and your accomplishments. And thank you so much for your support of Montgomery College. We also have some Maryland State delegates here today, Charles Barkley and James Gilchrist, Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett, Montgomery County Council Member Phil Andrews, Ms. Lori Mincer Edberg, Special Assistant to Senator Mikulski, who's here, and Ken Reichard, Assistant to Senator Cardin. Welcome, one and all. The American film director, David Lynch, once said these words: "When you get an idea that you fall in love with, this is a glorious day." Well, this is a glorious day. Many years ago, we had a great idea for an outstanding science center. Today, we are totally in love with these renovations, and you will be too. On January 18th, 2012, the Rockville campus had another glorious day. The college announced exciting news. In the coming spring, renovations of the Science East building would begin and were expected to last 2 years. There was some last-minute scrambling to finish and open on time for spring classes this past January, but we made it. Indeed, another glorious day. And now when I walk around this exceptional academic building, it's hard to remember what was here before. Doesn't look, some of you have been here with me, and you know that. Our contractors and facilities teams know this well. Construction work was extensive. Science East was built in 1966, and it was in very bad shape. Mostly everything had to go, even some things we hadn't planned on removing. Windows, drywall, concrete floors, external bricks were all removed. Some nearby trees had to come down too, but we've replaced them. The old leaky greenhouse was disassembled and hauled away. All that was left of the former building was a rust-colored frame, and it was rusty. For the longest time, from the windows of my conference room in Macklin Tower, I marveled at this huge metal skeleton of a former building, stark and empty against the sky. But before long, there was amazing progress. Concrete was poured, window frames were installed, and in construction lingo, the building got skin. While months of construction were underway in all kinds of weather, temporary pedestrian walkways were created so we could navigate the campus without too much difficulty. We also found another way to ease the inconvenience of our construction projects. We moved the tennis courts and built a new parking lot on the site of the old courts to gain space for 176 vehicles. So extraordinary efforts by extraordinary individuals are why we are here today on this glorious day. I'm delighted to welcome you to a wonderful renovated facility that expands our new science center. Thanks to unwavering support from trustees and legislators and other friends of the college, Montgomery College can meet and in many cases exceed the academic needs and expectations of thousands of students in our science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM programs. On the back of your program is a brief building description. You'll also hear from others about their firsthand experiences, and thanks to the creative efforts of Dan Rankin in MCTV, we'll see a short video about this wonderful educational facility. Finally, let me share my glorious vision for the Rockville campus long before I became Vice President and Provost. Young and enthusiastic, I came to Montgomery College in 1972 to teach mathematics. In 1972, the Science East building was only 6 years old, and well, in 1972, we both looked pretty good. Thank you. I taught in classroom spaces and worked in offices that became less adequate and less attractive through the years. As a former dean who supervised the math department, I heard concerns from faculty and staff, even students, about mold, old furniture, cramped quarters, and poor ventilation. Well, today, my vision for better STEM facilities, glorious facilities, is 2/3 of the way to being fully realized with the completion of this renovation. We have bright, expanded spaces that house the entire mathematics department and mathematics program at the Rockville campus. We're able to support all levels of math instruction from developmental to honors. The teaching and learning environment is greatly enhanced, and the entire workplace is productive and collegial. We have iPads, and with more and better technology, we proudly promote mathematical literacy and meet the enrollment demands of students seeking math courses. With these facilities, we're able to teach these courses using new pedagogies. Lounge and conference space gives students a special place to connect and interact. In fact, at the Student Life Banquet this spring, the Student Math Club, which meets in this Science Center, receives Student Life's highest honor, Club of the Year. So yes, we're gathered here on a glorious day to celebrate a truly worthwhile milestone, and I am so pleased you're here with us today. Now it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium two very special friends and champions from Montgomery College and to share their remarks with us. First, the Honorable Ike Leggett, and then second, the Honorable Phil Andrews. Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning.
Good morning.
I was very impressed with the litany of things you've completed in this renovation. You've done an excellent job. Maybe you could come to Silver Spring and complete a little project that I have over there. Wait a minute, was this on tape? I didn't realize. Well, we are serious here in Montgomery County about STEM, and we need to be. I've had the pleasure in the last few years to travel to China at least a number of occasions, to India, South Korea, and to witness the commitment that they are making in STEM. The students, the faculty, but also the facilities. And that says a great deal about their commitment and the competition that we face. And if we are not serious about it, I think that we can really fall very, very far behind. And there's no better place to start and continue the education process than right here. With inadequate facilities, it is not an appropriate statement that we are making in terms of our commitment. It is difficult to recruit the faculty that you want. It is difficult to spur the interest of students. And it is also difficult to get the investments that you need in order to ensure that you're going to have a successful program. This is a statement, a very strong statement, that at the local level, at the state level here at Montgomery College, we are making a very bold statement that we are committed, and we're committed for the long haul. And I know that we will see results because you know the students now that are going to other institutions who are leaving here. But it has started right here. And so given the very strong public education system that we have, the interest of our students, the fact that we have students literally from all over the world, we have a great opportunity. And we are now enhancing that opportunity and creating even greater opportunities through this commitment. So I want to congratulate you for what you've done. I see and believe in the great results. I'm oftentimes, when I walk into a classroom, a place like this, as a former college professor, I'm literally almost awed about to start writing on the boards behind me. So I'm going to attempt not to do that, but simply to congratulate you and to thank you for helping us to move this ball forward and to let the rest of the world know, and certainly this state, that STEM is important for us, and Montgomery County is going to do its part, and its college is very much committed to making sure that it happens. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to represent my colleagues on the County Council this morning on this glorious day, as David Lynch said. It truly has been a long time in the making, and it's wonderful to see both of the facilities working now together, the classrooms in this building and the labs in the Science West building. Thanks to our state delegation for their support for this wonderful building. Thank you to the president of Montgomery College for her leadership. And while we are officially celebrating the opening of the Science East building, really what we're celebrating is the increased opportunity for students, because that's what Montgomery College is about. 60% of Maryland, of Montgomery County high school graduates who stay in state start at Montgomery College. That is an enormous number. And it's a huge contribution that the college makes to increasing opportunity for all the people in our county. And it's been my honor as a member of the Education Committee on the Council for the last 8 years to have a front row seat to see the great work that's been done by the college, whether it's on this campus or the Germantown campus or the Tacoma Park campus. So thank you for the great work that all of you do every day to provide and increase opportunity for the people in our county, both young and old. It's an incredibly diverse, it's probably the most diverse place in the country in Montgomery College. You walk around and you hear an amazing number of languages and you meet so many interesting people with amazing stories. And it was a pleasure to have a chance to talk briefly with Ms. Van Horn, who's speaking in a little bit, and Ms. Venegas, who's graduating and on her way to continuing her collegiate career, as is Ms. Van Horn. So congratulations, everybody. Enjoy this, and thanks for all the opportunity you are increasing by doing this.
Thank you, Mr. Leggett and Mr. Andrews. We're so appreciative of all that you do for our students and Montgomery College, and we understand that you have a very busy day taking care of county business and that you will probably have to leave before we finish the program, but we're so appreciative that you were here today, so thank you. I also want to acknowledge that Kevin Mack, representing Congressman Delaney, is here with us today, so thank you for joining us. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce the president of Montgomery College, Dr. Darian Pollard.
Well, good morning, everyone, and I'm delighted to be here. I have to say I have developed a little reputation at the college for certain words that I overuse. One of them is phenomenal. I use that a lot, but I've decided to substitute now glorious because I love glorious. There's something very delicious about the word glorious. So what a glorious gathering that we are having here today to celebrate the opening of the second building, Science East, and the math science trifecta here at the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. As Dr. Ackerman indicated, it was nearly 3 years ago when we first opened the building of the Science Center. The Maryland General Assembly just approved funding for the renovation of our Science West facility. So soon we will have two bookends to this wonderful facility that really speak to the power that we have as a community college in this community. The state, like us, recognizes that the importance of community college is helping to train the next generation of engineers and scientists and mathematicians, those people who will indeed be vital to the workforce of this county and state. We know that STEM disciplines are vital to supporting Maryland's knowledge-based economy. High-wage jobs in important industry sectors are vital to moving our county and our state forward. But more jobs are irrelevant if we don't have a talented workforce who can fill them, and I would offer a locally grown workforce. In fact, the state report Investing in STEM and to secure Maryland's future estimated that every year college universities in our state produce a deficient number of STEM workers. We can do better. We must do better, and I will tell you that we are already doing better at Montgomery College. Montgomery College is already a hub for future engineers and scientists. This campus is home to the nation's largest engineering transfer program, the nation's largest. The number of students enrolled in STEM program study here at Montgomery College increased by nearly 2,000 students. That's a 76% increase in the past 5 years. We have phenomenal faculty and staff who are dedicated and committed to providing an excellent education for our students and for this county. Yet, this new building that we're celebrating today was first built in 1966. That was right about the time that the very first PC computer was brought to life, but years before Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. Something to think about, right? And years after that, we saw the internet come to fruition. So you can imagine the challenge of teaching the workforce of tomorrow, the talent who will discover cures for diseases in the future, map the human genome, or invent technology we cannot even begin to conceive of today in a building that was built so many yesterdays ago. New facilities enable us to go beyond enhancing traditional teaching and learning, but they also enable us to provide innovative and interactive student learning opportunities. This, in turn, will propel students towards access and success, a key tool in meeting the completion agenda that has been articulated by the state and the nation. Students need 21st century learning environments to succeed in the 21st century workplace. This building will empower more students, like one of our alumni, Louise Amanita Ahure, who just recently successfully defended her PhD at the University of Maryland's Aerospace Engineering program. Louise focused her doctoral research on developing an adaptive landing gear system for Boeing helicopters. We are certainly glad that she took off here at Montgomery College. Thanks to buildings like the Science East, we will be able to continue providing students with deeply relevant educational experiences that will directly translate into the skills that they need for transfer and in the workforce, hopefully supplying the students, the workers that our community and our county and state need, dare I say, even our nation. Next, we want to show a little video that showcases the building in today. That is today's center of attention. But before we hit the play button, okay? So, come on down, make it come on down. Before we hit the play button, I want to thank the many state and local decision makers and our elected officials who have invested in this institution to make it a reality and certainly continue to see the opportunities that we bring to the community. Our County Executive Ike Leggett, Councilmember Phil Andrews, and the entire Montgomery County Council, and our many friends at the Montgomery County delegation, including Senators Madaleno and King, who have been outstanding advocates for us, and our representatives on budget and tax. We know that those are critical committees, is a critical committee. Please give all of our elected officials an applause for their commitment to Montgomery College. So now I want to say roll that beautiful bean footage, but I won't say that. Please, let's show the video.
It's hard to follow a video. Well, good morning. It is a pleasure to be here this morning celebrating the completion of the second phase of the Rockville Science Center. I'm Stephanie Talbot, Associate Professor of Mathematics, and I've just finished my 13th year here at Montgomery College. I knew I was going to be a math teacher from very early on. I just could not wait to get new school supplies and to see that new semester start. And the opening of the renovated Science East building was by far the best first day of class ever, with the best school supply list we could imagine. I love my job. So I'm going to ask you, this is the interactive portion of our day. Raise your hand if you love your job. Excellent. That's the part that I like about teaching, and that is interacting with students. Now I have a building and resources that allow me to better interact with students. It also allows students to better interact with each other, and it also allows students to interact better with content in a highly technical, dynamic way. Teaching in the Science West building had its unique challenges. I taught in some very small classrooms, some very wide classrooms. Some still had chalkboards. Very few had computer for student learning workstations. And those inadequate classrooms allowed me to deliver lectures, but so much was missing from teaching. These classrooms didn't give my students the environment to engage dynamically with me or with each other. And until the new building, we still had overhead projectors. Faculty offices were also dismal. Our offices were less than cheerful, with little or no space to even have 2 students come in for a homework session. In fact, I would just tape a large sheet of paper to my wall for students to come in and work homework problems. I cannot begin to describe what a difference this renovated building makes. We now have so much more. We have the cafe rooms for colloquium-style learning experience. We now have digital screen capture capability to provide students with recordings of our lectures. Our new labs, I can set up statistics projects for students to work independently. I can pair them up. They can work together as a class. The software allows for dynamic exploration and discussion, and students can question why. What happens if I do this? What would happen if this number changed? Every student can now say, my unique data shows something. It's all unique. And I can take that student's workstation and I can project it onto the classroom screen. Every student can now see a different answer to the same concept. Students can now spend the time analyzing and understanding information instead of doing calculations in isolation of meaning. I can focus on providing conceptual learning versus skill and drill activities. The classrooms are now dynamic, and for math teachers, that is terrific. Our new 105-seat math prep lab allows students to work on college preparatory math in a flexibly paced format. I'm excited that this lab provides an opportunity for students to acquire skills for success in college-level math. Every day I get to see the students get it, and most of the time it's for the first time. I get to help my students individually with their own needs, and they no longer feel left behind. My students have completed up to 3 semester-long courses in 1 semester. Without this lab, we could not meet the needs of these students. Our offices are now cheerful. We have windows. We have space to actually hang whiteboards for problem solving. We have space for our teaching resources. I feel my office is now a place where I can welcome students in for advising, for math help, and even a cup of coffee. Thank you for the opportunity to share my experience in both the old and new buildings and to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of all of my colleagues. We appreciate having the resources needed to challenge our teaching methods and to meet the needs of our students. Speaking of students, it is now my pleasure to introduce a special one who will share her academic experience with us, Ms. Danielle Van Horn.
Thank you, Professor Talbot. Good morning. My name is, wasn't ready for that one. My name is Danielle Van Horn. I'm a secondary math education major at Montgomery College. In 2012, after graduating from Magruder High School in Durwood, Maryland, that small community nestled between Rockville and Gaithersburg, I transferred to MC in the spring of 2013 from Coastal Carolina University. I left Coastal Carolina University because the school wasn't the best fit for me. My parents and I agreed that the best decision would be to come home and complete an associate's degree at Montgomery College. My first couple of math classes at MC were in the old Science West building in a renovated chemistry lab. We sat in small high school style desks with the old hoods along the wall and old carpet on the floors. The seating was very tight, and we followed the professor as he carefully made his way around the room, rotating from one whiteboard to the next. I had one math class where I could occasionally hear noise from the renovation construction site. I will admit it was a bit distracting. But looking back and now taking math classes in a beautiful new building, the noise was worth it. And besides, despite the noise, I still got an A in my calculus class. My favorite thing about the new building is how open the classrooms are. We're not stepping on each other's backpacks to get to our seats. We have plenty of workspace on the large tables. And each classroom has a long whiteboard that stretches across the front of the class. The new building is refreshing, and even students who do not have classes in the Science Center come to use the bathrooms because they're so clean. The renovated building makes our STEM program even stronger because we have our own computer labs, study areas, and easy access to equipment. STEM students love hanging out in the new building because we get to meet new people in our same major or subject area. I can say on behalf of my fellow STEM students, the faculty, and many other people at MC that we love our new Science Center. We cannot thank you enough for your donations and support to help fund this amazing educational facility. Faculty members like Professor Talbot and Dr. Fred Kateri are the core of any great academic program. Dr. Kateri is the advisor for the math club, and I served as treasurer and learning assistant. As Dr. Ackerman said earlier, our math club was Club of the Year. Math teachers are great, but all my professors at MC genuinely want their students to succeed. They go out of their way to help us. I am the type of student who enjoys getting to know my professors, and the professors at MC share the same attitude towards their students. I have gained confidence and made many friends at MC because my professors have interactive teaching styles and encourage us to work with our peers. In closing, I want you to know that my professors, advisors, and fellow students have played a significant role in my academic success and growth as a person. MC opened a lot of doors for me and gave me so many more opportunities than I would have received elsewhere. When I complete my Associates of Arts in Teaching and Mathematics degree this summer, I will transfer to the University of Maryland, College Park this fall. A degree from MC made attending College Park a possibility for me. This college opened my mind to so many different and wonderful opportunities that I never imagined. I am so very thankful to everyone who played a part in building this new beautiful facility. Although I'll be a student at College Park, I'll always be an MC graduate, and I cannot wait to come back and visit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Van Horn, for sharing your experiences as a student here. When I listen to you, it makes us understand exactly why we worked so hard to get these facilities, why we advocated and said we need it, it's essential. And of course, there are so many more facilities that could use improvement too. And then hearing from Professor Talbot about her experiences in the new classrooms, it makes me understand why we are out there seeking this so that we have faculty who are energized and who are meeting our students' needs. So thank you to both of you. Now I'd like to invite our representatives from the Maryland General Assembly, Senators Nancy King and Richard Madaleno, to have a few words with us.
Since Rich Madaleno is the chair of our Education Subcommittee, I always defer to him, but he allowed me to go first this morning. It really is a pleasure to be here this morning, and I had not really been down here to actually look at this building completed. And it seems like not very long ago that I was here with a hard hat on and going up and down the elevators and looking at it and trying to imagine what it was going to look like in the end. So it is just a phenomenal place. The science and technology, the whole STEM issue is such a big topic in Annapolis. We talk about it a lot. We're always looking at jobs. That is, as elected officials, we are constantly out there saying jobs, jobs, jobs. Well, this is what creates the jobs. I have to say that the face of Montgomery College, between Susan Madden and Darian Pollard in Annapolis, really helped to convince other people over there what a great place this is. I am so proud of Montgomery College when I'm talking to my colleagues in Annapolis, because there is no place like this anywhere else in the state. We have other community colleges They are nothing like this. So we're very, very proud to be able to talk about Montgomery College, and it is also pretty easy to convince our other colleagues to support buildings like this Science East, because they see what great things we're doing. Between Montgomery College and the universities at Shady Grove, people are absolutely amazed at what we're doing in Montgomery County, and I'm so very proud of that. Couldn't do it without all of you, though. You're what really makes the school such a success. So I'm thrilled to be here this morning. I'll be happy to see what we can build from here, what comes next, because I know we'll get that. As the only senator from Montgomery County on the Capital Budget Committee, I hear often from Montgomery College, and happy to keep pursuing all those projects with you, because it really is a delight to see all this happening and the successful students that are coming out of here. One of the best things I do each year is give out scholarships, and I give a lot of my scholarships to Montgomery College kids. And I've had such huge success stories coming out of here that it is, I should write a book someday about that. But it really is just a proud moment for me to be here to cut the ribbon for this building. So thank you.
Thank you. Senator King forgot to say to you all that the reason why she went first is she's the delegation chairman for Montgomery County. We just had the election, and I guess she doesn't realize that she doesn't know that, or she knows she won, but but she was unanimously selected by the 8 members of the Senate delegation to lead our delegation. That's how much esteem we have for Senator King, and certainly her role as the only Montgomery County senator on the Capital Budget Subcommittee makes arm twisting for these sorts of projects very, very important. I do want to take a moment, Dr. Ackerman spoke briefly about this, but to recognize our colleague and friend Jenny Forehand. 36 years in the states, in the General Assembly, representing Rockville and Gaithersburg and Garrett Park, which I'll now hopefully have the honor to represent. But Jenny has meant so much for our community. I mean, sometimes Jenny is a quiet person, but she is a determined person. She has single-handedly built the Intercounty Connector. I think she was out. I think she spent many nights out in tractors plowing but it was Jenny who stood alone for years to make that project happen, and that's just one example of many of the facilities around our county that have benefited from Jenny. And this may not be appropriate, but I think as we move forward, we should think about ways to honor Jenny for her commitment, including a name on a building, if that ever came up, because of her long service, 36 years to our community. We owe you a debt of gratitude, and for many students, for many people in this county who may never hear your name, their lives have been improved because of your service. Thank you, Jenny, very much. So Senator King touched upon this briefly. You are a national model and a national leader. Dr. Kerwin, who is the chancellor of the university system, came to us one day after returning from the White House, where he was participating in a higher ed summit. And maybe some of you have heard this story. Maybe Dr. Pollard tweeted this to the world. But he came back and he said, President Obama asked everyone, the leaders from higher ed, to go around the room and talk about what was something interesting happening for higher education in their state. And Dr. Kerwin said, it's the ACES program in Montgomery College. And in fact, he said to us, he said to all of our colleagues, he thought the ACES program was the most exciting and innovative higher education program happening in our country today. And that it was worthy of study and duplication everywhere in the country. We spent a lot of time talking about the Pay It Forward program. In fact, this is a program that's very much like it, that is succeeding already for lots of young people in our county. If we are serious about meeting President Obama, Governor O'Malley's completion goals, if we're going to have 55% of our adult population with a college credential, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree by the year 2025, it will only happen through the work of of community colleges and in our state through the work of Montgomery College, which educates so many young people. Ms. Van Horn, you blew me away. Thank God you're only you're under the age to hold office. So that's the important, that's the important thing. And maybe because you're going into math, those of us who didn't do well in math went into politics. So that's why. But you are the future, and you're not the only person. From Montgomery College, we hear young people and students who come out who are just amazing, dynamic people who will be the backbone of our community economically, scientifically, civically for the future. And I just want to say to all of you who make that happen at this institution, thank you for your commitment, for your decades of service. We are a better community because of all of you and all of your efforts. So thank you and congratulations on a wonderful day.
Thank you, Senators King and Marileno. The whole Montgomery College community appreciates your support. I would also like to acknowledge our Board of Trustee Wu, who has just joined us. So let's give him a hand too. We would not have so much to celebrate today without the contributions of many. To the Whiting Turner construction team, the Stantec, I saw John Nickmeyer a minute ago, he's right there. The Choban Architects and their structural and engineering design team, Maryland Correctional Enterprise, and to the college's central facilities and information technology teams, especially James Tarver, Peter Henley, Chris Karp, and Steve Taylor. Thank you for all your hard work and steadfast efforts. Thanks also to our visionary faculty and staff, particularly Professor Stephanie Talbot, for making sure that this building will reflect the evolving nature of STEM in 2014, but also in 2050. And a very special thank you to Dr. Ackerman for providing outstanding leadership to our Rockville campus and to the completion of Science Center and Science East. Finally, let's offer our appreciation to the college's special events team for planning this wonderful celebration, and to Dan Rankin, who created this video that we just saw. I am so pleased that so many of you could be here to celebrate the completion of this building. A very special place that will educate the knowledge workers of today, the problem solvers and entrepreneurs of tomorrow. This is a place that will see many exciting days because it will be the home to so many new ideas that will form and take hold right here. The students who study and learn here will fill and create the jobs in our dynamic knowledge society, in our county, in our country, in our world, where economies are intertwined, where boundaries are erased, and where explosive growth of data seems overwhelming. Peter Drucker said, information is data endowed with relevance and purpose. Converting data to information requires knowledge. Here we will inspire and challenge those who have to transform big data into information to tell its stories. We are celebrating a place where knowledge will be gained, where collaborative generosity will be fostered, where diversity of thinking will be embraced, and analytical skills honed. We are celebrating the future. This is a glorious day. This is a phenomenal day. And this is also a delicious day. But as a mathematician, we study transformation. I think this is a day of transformation as well. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.